Welcome to the Hidden Palace with Skyblaze.
Good morning, afternoon, evening or night, wherever you are in the world. I am Skyblaze and this is the Hidden Palace here on Radio SEGA. So, sorry about last week. I am on a type of medication called an SSRI, which means I get affected by the heat sometimes, so I'm quite subject to heat exhaustion and heat stroke. So I have to be super careful. And I was starting to feel really unwell after sitting behind this very, very warm PC desk. But at the time of this episode, the UEFA Women's Euro is apparently at the quarter-final stage, and I don't really know a lot about it, but and I don't really care a lot for football or most sports, with the exception of Formula 1 and fencing, kinda. So unless it's cars that go over 200 miles per hour, I'm just not interested. But it does feel like a good excuse to look at a few sports ball related games on a few of Sega's home consoles. So, I am going to apologise in advance for butchering this, but I will give it my best shot. So, starting with Nihon Diayu Team no Kantoku ni Naro. Why do I do this to myself? Sekai Hatsu Soccer RPG. Oh god. Soccer RPG? Oh wait, yeah, there's a golf RPG. Never mind, objection withdrawn. So also known as World Soccer RPG during development, this game was developed by Sega. So developed by Square Enix. Hang on. Developed by Sega, Enix, who are now known as Square Enix, and Tosei, and was published by Enix in 1998, but only in Japan, as you may have guessed from the title. The player takes the role of the coach of a football team, and following Japan's defeat in making it to the regional qualifiers, it's now down to you to coach a team that will not only qualify, but take home the International Cup. So, I mean, I'd be tempted to put my name down as Ted Lasso, but maybe that's just me. Yeah, despite not really caring about football, I really enjoyed Ted Lasso. Make of that what you will. One thing that you see from the manual is that we get audio commentary for the matches, which is supplied by former Japanese soccer player and manager Hiroshi Hayano, and Fuji TV announcer Tetsuya Nagasuka. Now, while I know little to nothing about these people, I would like to think this is something of interest for those who do actually play or watch Japanese soccer. Maybe. 1 second. When I was researching games for this episode, it was the fact that this was an RPG, a soccer RPG, that kind of stuck with me. How do you make football an RPG? I mean, I don't know. The game is divided into 2 parts. The RPG part sees you as coach navigating around Japan, or, well, at least a city in Japan. I'm not entirely sure if it's an actual real city, a model on an actual real city, or if it's a fictional city. Because most of it is in Japanese, it's very difficult to figure it out. And the idea is that you locate items in order to improve your team, along with finding new players to bolster your ranks. You also have the ability to travel to other countries, where you can look at acquiring new players for your team. So we're going to have our first music break, and I couldn't find any music for this particular game. In fact, I think there was only 2 games that I mentioned that I could actually find any music for at all. So, I'm going to improvise. So, first of all, we have from Mario and Sonic at the Rio Olympics, we have football. Yes. And then from Sega Saturn history, we have try, with 3 exclamation marks. Also known as the biggest game in the world. That one was requested by Electric Boogaloo. So enjoy those, and I will speak to you again after the break about what you do in the second part of this game.
Hello, my name is Gavi and you're listening to The Hidden Palace with Skyblaze on Radio SEGA.
Don't think about it when your dream Omega has
And we are back, and that was Sega Saturn History Try, the biggest game of the world, requested by Electric Boogaloo. And before that we had, from Mario and Sonic at the Rio Olympic Games, we had football. We'll just have a quick hello to the Discord chat. Hello everyone, we've got Pocket Larry, we've got Purvis, I think Rav Sieg's around still. I know they were very busy with their show earlier. It's great to have Rav back on the airwaves again. Who else? So yeah, Viper, Rav Sieg, Electric Boogaloo, Purvis, Pocket Larry. Pocket Larry made me laugh earlier because we're talking when I mentioned the football RPG, and she says, "Let me know when we have a football match against the secret super boss." I was like, "The secret super boss is Pele." So even I know who he is. Or the joke boss, which is actually lethal, like the Velvet Room attendants in Persona games, is Richmond FC. And when you inevitably lose, Ted Lasso comes over and gives you a delicious homemade pastry. Also, Viper was asking if Try was the same vocalist as did the vocal themes in Clockwork Knight, and Electric Boogaloo confirms that it was indeed. So thank you, Boog. As usual. Oh, and Grey4 is around, as usual. He's doing my socials for me because he is just lovely.
I try.
Yes, you are very trying. So, back to the game with the very long title, which is... Oh, the World Soccer RPG. I'm calling it World Soccer RPG and you can't stop me. So the second half is where you put your hard work into action. This part, I suspect, is a bit more like something like Football Manager. I've never played Football Manager, but I assume this is similar. Because you can set out your team, arrange their formation, set strategies, and during the match you can set new strategies and even make substitutions with other players who are on your bench. When you start the match, it'll more or less play itself, but at the end your players' levels will grow, as will your coaching level based upon your performance. This is the sort of thing that could bring back for a mobile idle game, isn't it? Electric Boogaloo's posted Sensible Soccer. Yes! The original. Although I remember Sensible Soccer from long before it was on the PlayStation. Because I am old. Where was I? Going back to the RPG element of it, it's similar to how things work with actual football or soccer for our American friends. You can hire talent scouts to search for new players, and based on your level, you'll have a better chance of discovering some more powerful additions to your team. Yeah, when did Sensible Soccer originally come out? Because there was a really early version. So would a mobile gacha turn footballers into anime girls? I mean, certainly in the UK, the women's football is doing a lot better than the male's football is. Make of that what you will. They turned everything else into anime girls, so why not? Whatevs, as they say. Next up we have a game called BALLJACKS. Now, stop it. I can hear all of your dirty thoughts. Knock it off. This is technically classed as a sports game. So, well, it was when I went looking on the Sega Retro Wiki. Don't at me. It was published and developed by Namco for the Mega Drive back in 1993, and as far as games go, the story is... what story? But this is a sports game from the 90s. You didn't have a story in sports games in the 90s. That's not a thing. A group saying, just imagining a Sailor Moon transformation when they change kits. Yes! That would be awesome. Electric Boogaloo is saying that Sensible Soccer was originally 1992 on the Amiga ST. Yeah, that sounds about right. I'm fairly sure I first saw it on one of the Commodore platforms, so by the 90s it was... Yeah, it's probably the Amiga. I can't remember which one, it was a long time ago. And I'm old. Anyway, let's have some more music, shall we? So, from BALLJACKS, we have the 2-player versus theme. And then from Virtua Striker 2, we have Final Match Goal Rush. So, enjoy those, and I'll be back after this music break to talk a bit more about BALLJACKS. And keep those thoughts clean. Talk to you in a bit. we are back. And that was Virtua Striker 2 Final Match Goal Rush. And before that we had from BALLJACKS 2-player versus. So, apparently, in the year 7650, a new sporting event has taken outer space by storm. Well, a simple gaming premise, which involves basically two people collecting balls while piloting robots. Shut up. This has apparently had people queuing up to give their very possessions in order to participate, all for a chance to claim the wealth and fame that comes with being the owner of the strongest machine. The sport, as mentioned, involves you collecting balls while you pilot a robot. The way this works is that you have conveyor belts showing on the left and right sides of the screen, with you and your opponent positioned in front of these belts facing each other. When the timer starts, balls will move across these belts, and you need to steal as many as from your opponent's belt as possible within the time limit. Once you have collected all of the available balls from your opponent's side, a separate 10-second timer will count down for your opponent. However, this timer will pause if they manage to reclaim at least one of their balls from you. If your opponent's timer reaches 0, you will win the match. While you are busy collecting these balls, you can also damage your opponent with them, which can cause their robot to be destroyed. This allows you a chance to steal all of their balls and start the timer ticking down. Although this won't be for long, as the replacement robot will appear after a short while. Once you can prove yourself the world champion, the game doesn't stop, as you then unlock the Galaxy Championship, which is located on the glorious space colony. Where you can expect harder matches to truly put your skills to the test. If you manage to succeed and become the Galaxy Champion, your prize is an entire planet. You get to retire and your robot is placed into a museum for all to marvel at. So yeah, if you can win a planet, I can see why people were keen. It's not every opportunity that you have to own a planet. Larry, behave. Oh god, Twinny's getting in on this now as well. I'm doomed. Right, I'm gonna move on swiftly. So some more music, shall we? So, from World Cup Italia 90, we have Game BGM 1, and then another request from Electric Boogaloo. This time we have from Ace Attacker, the Balanced BGM. Please enjoy, and I'll be back after this music break to discuss the last game that I will be discussing this evening. And that was Ace Attacker Balanced BGM, requested by Electric Boogaloo. And before that, we had from World Cup Italia 90 Game BGM 1. Although, as I know it, the game select music from Mega Games 1. It was my access to columns, okay? So lastly, for the games I'm covering today, we have another Saturn game. This one is called Battle Sport. Developed by Cyclone Studios and Unexpected Development, that's one hell of a name for a company. Published by Acclaim in 1997, Battle Sport has you piloting futuristic vehicles in a 1v1 arena, where you and your opponent fight for possession of a ball, which you then need to shoot it into the goal located within the arena. Football with mechs. Or, you know... I guess, is it still football if it's only 2 people? I don't know. You'll both be armed to the teeth with weapons that you can use to destroy each other, as well as power-ups you can collect within the arena to give yourself an edge over your opponent. Pocket Larry saying, I wonder if there is enough about Mega Games and related compilations like Classic Collection and Sonic Compilation to make an episode. I don't know. It'd have to be like, you know, the hidden extras or something, because otherwise I'm just listing the games that are on it, and that'd be a bit boring. I'm not sure. I'll have a think about that one. Anyway, Battle Sport. So as game modes go, it is fairly basic. You have instant action, which throws you straight into a one-off match. There is a separate instant action settings menu where you can select the arena, opponent and vehicle you want to use when you choose the instant action mode. Exhibition mode, which has both a 1 and 2 player option, lets you choose the same settings as instant action, but with a better understanding for each map, as it details what the ball and goal will look like, as well as what power-ups you can expect to see, and even the size of the arena. You get to choose whether the match is time-based or set to finish once a select number of goals have been scored. There is also an option here to include an equipment shop where you can select additional weapons and power-ups between each match. The final mode is Tournament, where you can face off against all available opponents, and you'll get prize money for each match you win, which you can then use to buy better ships or equipment for your next match. You know, kind of like Super Hang-On or something similar. Speaking of Mega Games 1, ha ha ha. Electric Boogaloo is saying there is a story on how these compilations came to be. I think that might be worth covering. But it's whether or not that is going to be enough for, I mean, those and kind of related things are going to be enough for an entire episode? Not sure. I will have to do some research. Okay, let's have some more music then, before we go into the chiptune corner. So, from Battle Sport, this is the 3DO version because it's the only version of the soundtrack I could find. So it's not the Saturn version, it's the 3DO version. But I think it's Red Book Audio, so there probably isn't that much difference. But yeah, from Battle Sport we have Brick. And then from Saka Tsuku Pro Soccer Club we have Information. So enjoy those, and I'll be back after this music break to go into the chiptune corner. And we are back. And from Saka Tsuku Pro Soccer Club, we had information. And before that, from Battle Sport, we had Brick. Listen, that Saka Tsuku track is like, as soon as the guitar starts, it's like, gosh, I wonder who this guitar player could possibly be. It is a complete mystery. And Rapsik says, Saka Tsuku, a new one is coming to the West. Okay, cool. I mean, I don't really play sports games, but for those who do enjoy such things, good news. More competition in any area is always a good thing, because it forces people to actually, you know, make good things. Anyway, into the chiptune corner. So, we are all about Sega here, obviously, but occasionally we do have to acknowledge the fine work that has been done on other consoles, which have sported names like, you know, Nintendo, Sony, Neo Geo, you know, that sort of thing. I mean, maybe Xbox if I have to hold my nose. Anyway, Yasunori Mitsuda is a Japanese composer mostly known for his work at Squaresoft. He worked on Xenogears, Final Fantasy V, and most significantly for us today, Chrono Trigger. These days he works as a freelance composer, and you can find his work in games like Valkyria Revolution and Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and 3. He did some great work on the Super Nintendo, the SNES. Yes, we call it a SNES. Be quiet, Americans. It's easier to say. So, with that in mind, we have from Chrono Trigger a track called Corridors of Time. Electro Boogle is saying, famous composing the score for the original Mario Party. Pocket Larry saying, I heard Xbox cancelled their history. I'm not going to go into what's going on over at Microsoft and Xbox at the moment. It's. I know some people who actually, well, up until very recently were working there. Things are not good. That's all I'm going to say on the subject, so let's have some nice chiptune to cheer us up, shall we? So, from Chrono Trigger, we have Corridors of Time by Yasunori Mitsuda. Enjoy. And we are back. And that was from Chrono Trigger, Corridors of Time, composed by Yasunori Mitsuda. So, thank you everybody who has tuned in today. There's not going to be any SNS this week, as Gavi is out celebrating his wedding anniversary, so congratulations to him. Be sure to tune in tomorrow for Rex's Sega Mixer Drive though, and as always, the full schedule is available on radiosega.net. So, you'll be able to guess what I've been playing the past week, based on the track that I'm going to go out on. People speaking of Chrono Trigger in the comments, I actually picked it up from the Steam sale. So it's on my Steam Deck, so I don't have any excuses anymore. I mean, I could play it on emulation, but, you know, it's nice to actually have an official version. So, I've been Skyblaze, this has been the Hidden Palace here on Radio Sega. I hope everyone has enjoyed the show. I hope everyone is staying cool. I mean, we've had a torrential downpour today, so that's cooled the air a bit, although made it more humid. But yeah, take care everybody. Have a good night. Love to you all. Bye-bye.
Enjoyed the show? Check out the full Radio Sega live schedule at radiose.ga/shows. Radio Sega, playing the best Sega music 24/7.